Yo, yo, yo. All right. Here we go. Let's fire this bad boy up here. Oh, great night. Great night. I love this night. I loved it. Loved it. Loved every single minute of it, man. All right, let's get this set up. Oh, man. Go to community. Okay, that looks good. All right, that's good. That's good. All that is good. Actually, let me do one thing here. We're going to start in about 60 seconds, y'all. About 60 seconds. All right, let me look here. Pull this up. Oh, man. Okay, let's change that real quick. Give me that. Yeah, that'll work. I'll start in about 30 seconds. All right, let's do it, y'all.
Warning, the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR Show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, what is going on, good kind of people? Lee Sanders here of the RCWR Show, covering all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. Here we are, night 4 of 8. You heard me right, night 4 of 8. As for the next 8 consecutive nights, I am here live with you guys, and we are talking all things wrestling. I mean, we got some WrestleMania, we got some NXT, we talking SmackDown, we talking AEW, we talking NWA. Good God, we just all over the place, man. All over the place. Hey, we streaming live for the next little bit. I do want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you had thought about tonight's NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2 event. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I got a poll up on Twitter and on YouTube, youtube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the communities tab and cast your vote. I gave you guys some nice options tonight. Same options that you see on Twitter is going to be the same options that you see on YouTube. So your options are as follows. So take your time. Don't just be so quick to hit that. Take your time. Really make sure you think about it. This one you actually kind of have to think. Not too hard, but you got to think a little bit. Your first option, thumbs up. Your second option, thumbs down. Third option, better than night 1. And your last option, not as good as night 1. So really take the time out and think about that. But you're going to see those same polling options on Twitter and on YouTube. Now, I can tell you right now, because I had put up the poll for Twitter couple of minutes before I put up the one on YouTube. The one on YouTube, I literally posted right as we were getting ready to go on air. So I doubt, but I'll poke my head either way, but I doubt we got some early votes on YouTube just yet. Normally it's after I let the YouTube audience know. No, we got some early votes. I'll come back. Actually, you know what? I'm looking at it right now. So YouTube right now, you guys are saying out of those 4 options, 100% of you are coming in thumbs up for the event. Twitter is where it's very interesting right now. Listen to this. Coming in at 20%. not as good as night one. 30% of you, better than night one. And top dog right now, 50% of you are giving the event tonight a thumbs up. So, look, as far as where I stand on this event, I gotta say, I actually liked night two a lot more than night one. And maybe that's just because all the faces that I was looking forward to really seeing, the matches I was really salivating for and everything was pretty much crammed on night two there. I don't know, because I mean, if I really kind of take a step back and I really just highlight night one, for me, the main meat and potatoes of night one was the NXT Women's Championship match. That's the one I was looking forward to the absolute most. Right down to the point, sometimes I kind of wish it would have been a case where that match would have somehow been able to make it on over for night two. But I understand the breakup and everything that they did. I think in retrospect, it was kind of smart the way that they did it and everything. It's all good. It definitely put Raquel Gonzalez in a really cool ass position where she can bask in the limelight and all that. You got pretty much a whole day to just, you feel what I'm saying, marinate on it, enjoy that victory and everything. But yeah, I enjoyed night two more than I did night one. Definitely a lot stronger than night one in a lot of areas, I personally feel. How about that unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby? I mean, goddamn, they threw everything but the goddamn kitchen sink at each other. I love that. I love that match. You know what? That was so innovative on a lot of levels. I definitely enjoyed the pacing of that match, of that fight. I also loved the killer spots that they put in there. There were some really sweet ass spots that they put in there that, I gotta tell you, some of the spots that they thought about for that particular joint. Wow, okay, I never quite seen anything like that before. That's and the finish to the damn thing. I laughed. I don't know about you guys. I laughed my ass off at the finish to that damn fight, and we'll talk a lot more about that. But I mean, that was pretty damn good, man. It was some good shit. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go over this card here. Now, sadly, I did not get a chance following up from last night, and I do want to stress this for those of you that weren't with us last night. If you're expecting me to talk about night one of NXT Takeover Fallout, that's already in the books. We already covered night one last night. That's available on demand via YouTube, Twitch. I'm going to actually, something cool that I am going to be doing tonight, now that I pretty much am done with work until next week, I will be making a audio version that'll have in one show, basically, night one of Takeover and then tonight's NXT night two coverage. And I'm going to combine both of those so you have, one show. So when it's all said and done, that show will probably be about 2 hours at most. I'm going to mix it in a way where it's just one smooth show. That's pretty much how I'm going to do it for you guys. So if you didn't get a chance to check out night one, you want to piggy on back, it's available right now, just not the audio version. I'll have that audio version combining both. I'll actually have that be available later tonight, probably in the wee hours of the morning. You guys will be able to check that out, FYI. All right. But let's see here. They had a pre-show matchup, and much like with the Zoe Stark Toni Storm match, I did not get a chance to check this one out either. By the time I was ready to actually check out that Zoe Stark Toni Storm match, it was actually earlier today. And work had called, hey, we need a solid. Can you come in a couple of hours early? We know, you got some stuff you got to do for your show, but we need some help. It was like, okay, all right, cool, no problem. I got you. I'm on my way. So I didn't get a chance to see the Zoe Stark Toni Storm joint. And by the time I got out from work tonight, I did not see the second pre-show match for tonight. Looks like Killian Dane and Drake Maverick defeated Breezango. It was a tag team match where the winner receives a NXT Tag Team Championship match in the future. Team of Killian Dane, Drake Maverick going over. So they have a date with the new NXT Tag Team Champions in MSK. That should be pretty good. Look, I mean, when it's all said and done, I mean, look, MSK, they're off to a damn good freaking start. There's no doubt about that. Killian Dane, Drake Maverick, it's pretty awesome how their pairing came to be. When you think about the humbled beginnings and everything, and just, you know, thinking about where we are now with them, I think it's really cool. You know, look, I don't see a title change happening. I mean, do you? I'll flip it to you guys. Do you? I don't see that happening. So, you know, the real question that we need to be asking ourselves, when Killian Dane and Drake Maverick do eventually have this match against MSK, are the writers of NXT gonna try to bring even more to the forefront about how Imperium, and specifically Imperium's Alexander Wolf, was taking some shots there at Killian Dane, wondering what happened to that old Killian Dane that he used to be paired up with from his days in Sanity. You know, where's that monster of a beast? You know, where's that beast of a man? So what I can't help but wonder is if, despite the fact that Dane and Maverick will ultimately lose to MSK in this type of match, if the storyline is going to intensify even more, and that eventual rift that you know is coming, you can smell it a mile away, is that going to intensify more? Is that going to be aggravated, you know, even more, expanded even more with a defeat to the NXT Tag Team Champions? You kind of have to have that going in the back of your head. You know, you would like to believe so. You know, and I must admit, you know, the past couple of weeks that I've been able to watch NXT with AEW, you know, back to back, you know, simulcasting and everything. Now, for nothing, but it's been some weeks there since we've seen Killian Dane and Drake Maverick in action on NXT programming. So, you know, hopefully with everything that's going on, you know, this kind of brings everything back to the forefront once again. You feel where I'm coming from? So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check out that pre-show matchup though, but those are my thoughts with regards to Dane and Maverick picking up the dub, advancing to take on the NXT Tag Champions eventually. Santos Escobar, the interim NXT Cruiserweight Champion, taking on Jordan Devlin. Ladder match to determine the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Good opener. These boys went about 18 minutes, 6 seconds. Good opener. I was paying attention to the crowd reactions all throughout the night, particularly during the opener. And I felt that the energy from the crowd with regards to this opener, I felt it was more popping than what went down night one. You know, night one, you know, the fans, you know, look, it was obvious there were a few fans for Pete Dunne, and there were fans for who was the other guy? There were fans for Kushida, but it felt mostly quiet, you know, when you kind of think about it in retrospect. And you know, you can't help but kind of wonder there if Kushida and Pete Dunne, you know, kind of got the reactions that they got there for that opener. You know, you would have expected for the fans to be more lively, you know, because it's all right, man, we're here. Fuck yeah, we're here. You know, this pandemic and all this other bullshit that's gone down this past year. But nah, man, here we are. We're here at a wrestling event. Us fans, we're here. We're representing. We're going to let our voices be heard, you know, and it was just almost kind of like pleasant golf claps to a certain degree with regards to night one's opening match. And then when you look at night two's opening match here, again, between Escobar and Devlin. They seem, the crowd that is, more lively for this one. Both men, you know what? They tore it up. They delivered a fucking classic ladder match as far as I was concerned. Santos Escobar picking up the dub and is your undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Look, this was the right move to make, quite honestly. It's obvious when you look at NXT programming that, Triple H and them, they love them some Santos Escobar. Seriously, they love them some Santos Escobar. And I gotta be totally honest with you guys. Some months back, I didn't particularly care for Santos Escobar. I didn't. I just looked at him as a light version of Alberto Del Rio. And again, I'm looking at months back, okay? What's been happening with him in recent months, it's had me come around, as far as the tweaks that's been done to his character, it's had me soften up my stance quite a bit. And I kind of love what's going on now as he's kind of essentially become this, he's kind of really living up to that whole Escobar name. I know a few times I've joked and I've said Pablo Escobar and all that, but if you really kind of take a step back and really think about it, he has become kind of like a thug slash crime kingpin type. I like what's going on with him right now. I like the tweaks that they've been doing with his character behind the scenes and everything. I've never had a problem with the in-ring work. I've always, anytime I know that he's on the card and he's going to be wrestling, I don't have a problem with that because I know he's going to be entertaining. But I think the right decision was made as far as going with Escobar as the undisputed NXT champion. He carries more weight. Nothing personal against Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin, here's the thing with Jordan Devlin and why I never was really kind of about Jordan Devlin. And I'll have to put it on you guys, to you all's knowledge. Does Devlin live in the US on a regular basis? Because I'm assuming he does not, because the last go round that I was watching NXT UK, which has been several months now, which reminds me, I got to actually look and see their special event that they did. I think it came on earlier today, NXT UK Prelude or something like that. I know he's been mainly over there doing his thing. So if that's still the case, that, he's actually not living in the US on a regular basis, even on a part-time basis, then it made all the sense in the world when you really kind of take a step back and think about it, that, oh, okay, so, oh yeah, well then if he's going to lose, okay. And then he pretty much heads on back to the NXT UK division and everything. Look, he's tearing it up over there with regards to the NXT UK. At least the last go round that I saw NXT UK, he seemed to be doing pretty damn good over there. I just don't think, as far as with the American audience, like outside of the NXT fan base, outside of the NXT universe, let me be real specific here. I fear that as far as going down the road and just Jordan Devlin on a SmackDown, Jordan Devlin on a Raw, I just kind of feel as though, I don't know about that. I would have some pretty, I'd have concerns about that. I really, really would have concerns about that because, talented in the ring. No doubt about that. He's entertaining as fuck, but you just kind of can't help but take a step back and just look at the current landscape of WWE superstars as far as, names that, like, okay, these are the folks we need to be watching for the next 5 to 10 years, because these guys are pretty much going to be carrying the hell out of the company. And when you just specifically look at things from the male side of things, from the male side of the roster, Karrion Kross at the top of that fucking list. Don't worry, we're going to talk big chunk about Karrion Kross in a little bit. But Karrion Kross leading the way. Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, Samuel Shaw, LA Knight / Eli Drake. I'm kind of not really sure what's going on there based off what had happened last night. My confidence is a little shaken now with regards to him. I'm not sure if at this point WWE's plan is to essentially use LA Knight as an enhancement talent and putting other people over, or if it's truly a case where, okay, down here in NXT, we're going to give you an opportunity to prove yourself and everything. We're going to challenge you. And, I don't know if eventually LA Knight will become a NXT champion. I mean, in a perfect world, he has the right pedigree and everything. I don't know if he's going to, I don't know if he's really going to be able to reach that pinnacle while in NXT. Main roster, I'm not really so sure about. And normally I would be very confident, but I think when you just kind of take a step back and, for example, you look at certain guys that came through NXT, you look at when briefly we had the Cowboy James Storm. You look at how it was when Robert Roode, went through there and everything. There's certain guys that you look at and you're expecting nothing but good things to happen for them. That, okay, yeah, this clicked very well down in NXT. This should definitely resonate on the main roster, and it does not. It does not translate to the main roster. It's like night and day. So Jordan Devlin, he's, again, think about what's going to be happening in the next 5 to 10 years. Remember those names I just told you about. Again, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee. I almost forgot about my man Keith Lee, but Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, Samuel Shaw, Dexter Loomis, for those of you. I know I probably had some of you guys confused a little bit. Who the hell is he talking? Samuel Shaw? Who the hell? Eli Drake, for sure. I'm trying to think who else I kind of have my eye around right now. That's really it. Those are the main ones that I'm homing in on. And of course, I mean, Bobby Lashley, as long as he continues to remain healthy, wants to continue to wrestle. I mean, he's definitely, talk about a guy that's found the fucking fountain of youth on his side and everything. But yeah, all of those guys, it's really coming off like the return of the big men era. Who's the new guy that they got signed? The Brock Lesnar 2.0 guy. Just a little bit that I've seen of him online. Parker Bordeaux, is that his name? Him, it's a big man type of industry that has essentially been slowly but surely and quietly been making a comeback in WWE. That's where I see the trajectory going for the next couple of years. So a guy like Jordan Devlin, if he were to make it on the main roster and everything, I can't help but wonder, okay, so what's going to happen with him? Is he essentially just going to be delegated to maybe tag team division? Nothing wrong with that, but is it going to be a case of the tag team division? Maybe potentially United States / Intercontinental Championship run? Do a little something with the 24/7 title. The last thing I would want to see is him with that 24/7 title, because that would just strictly be comedic fucking purposes, would it not? So that's where I have my serious trepidations there. But Santos Escobar, on the other hand, see a lot of upside for him, a lot. I love the fact, the one thing that Santos Escobar has going on his side, that for the old man, McMahon, that is, I'm talking about, that's a major plus. This guy is essentially, I still feel Escobar needs a little bit more seasoning personality wise. I need him to be more loose, more balls out with it and everything. But I like the fact that just the basic rough draft, the basic blueprint of what we got right now with Escobar, if you were to just take it as it is right now, put it on the main roster, do a couple of tweaks here and there, it's a lot of potential to go over, but the ultimate key that would definitely have Escobar with a really good fighting chance, and we've seen this time and time again. I think you all know where I'm getting at here, is the fact that he speaks the American language very fluently. And sadly, I've been an advocate many years on this show when it comes to certain talents. Don't let them speak, the American language when they aren't fluent in it. It's a disservice to them. Let them speak their native language. Give us the English subtitle. I've been an advocate of that for years now, years upon years. In the case of Santos Escobar, he's very fluent, and you give him the right type of seasoning and flushing out his character more, brushing up a bit more on his promos and everything, tightening them up a little bit more. And that guy definitely can be a force to reckon with. We've seen what has sadly happened with guys like Andrade. We've seen what's happened with guys such as Pepe Le Pew Garza, as I've dubbed him. You see where that's pretty much Nakamura, probably the ultimate grand example of them all. So, but Escobar, yeah, I see a lot of upside in him. Like I said, he's growing on me. He's growing on me. But shout out to Escobar and Devlin. Put up one hell of a freaking fight. Very enjoyable. Now I can't help but wonder what exactly is going to be next for Escobar, and his little entourage there. By the way, my God, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. I love the commentating team tonight. I don't know what it was about night one, but I know some people, they were really enjoying Vic Joseph during night one. I didn't particularly care for him during night one. I don't know what it was. I wasn't cranky or anything. I just didn't particularly care for his commentating during night one. But, the commentating overall, including that of Vic Joseph for night two tonight, I enjoyed it tremendously. I loved hearing particularly Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix just clashing there. I loved how Wade Barrett was just trying to suck up big time to the heels and everything, and Beth Phoenix is trying to ground Wade, trying to bring him back down to earth and all of that. Like, for example, one point during the Escobar Devlin match, when we see Raul Mendoza and Wild, when they come out and they're just beating the holy crap out of freaking Devlin. You got Wade Barrett. I mean, he's just kicking back and he's enjoying the hell out of it. He's like, yes, that's how you do it. That's right. That beat him up. Yeah. And you got Beth Phoenix. She's like, how can you endorse this? How can you support this? This match that we have, of such great prestige. This is to determine an undisputed champion. What kind of champion is Escobar here, and this despicable act that he's doing? And Barrett's trying to defend it, and Beth is coming right back, and she's going, no, there's no honor in winning like this. What are you talking about, Wade? I loved it. At many points as Wade and Beth were going back and forth with each other, it was almost kind of like sometimes Vic Joseph had to be the grown up, and hey kids, settle down now, it was almost kind of like one of those type of deals. But yeah, there was that nice little back and forth banter that they had throughout the night that I had really enjoyed. So it was good shit right there. Next matchup on the card, Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defeating the Ways, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell tag team match for the NXT Women's Tag Titles. You know what? As far as I was concerned, good match. It was actually a good match. Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart retaining their NXT Women's Tag Titles. First of all, I see a lot of potential in Indy Hartwell. Let me just first say that Indy Hartwell, I mean, for somebody that's 24 years of age, and she hasn't been involved in pro wrestling that long, just a couple of years. I mean, she has really been showing me since she, came to NXT basically back in 2019. She's been showing me a lot of growth. Just specifically from an individuality standpoint. And what I mean by that is, she's really blossomed in the ring, for one. I mean, there's definitely no denying it. I mean, you saw the potential early on, but now when you really just kind of take a step back and you look at what she's been doing in recent months, I mean, she really has been coming along. I thought it was a really smart move that they paired her up with the Garganos. I thought that was a really good move, because who to learn, the ins and outs from, of the business, try to make sure that you stay on the right path and everything. Who better to be paired up with than essentially the Garganos and everything, right? And Candice LeRae, you hear a lot of good things about her. And quite honestly, if you've been fortunate enough to, watch a good chunk of her career prior to coming to WWE, you know that as far as being shown the ropes, and Candice LeRae, absolutely one of the best. Homegirl knows her shit. So Indy Hartwell has been really put in a really good position, to learn from the best and really hone her craft. And it's really been showing. And on top of that, when you just think about going back to 2019, barely a personality. When you really stop and think about it, barely a personality, other than the makeup and the black lipstick, and there really was nothing as far as a personality goes. She's continuing to flush out that personality. I mean, I really like where she is, and when she gets the opportunities, whether it's in a tag match or it's in a singles match these days, I really love the fact that, I'm expecting for there to be a lot of greenness, when she's in the ring. And I hardly see that much in experience of her when I look at her stuff these days. So she's coming along very, very well. I was a little bit surprised that Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell did not become the new NXT Women's Tag Champions. I was a little bit surprised at that. And I guess the reason why is because there's that part of me that's definitely a fan of Candice LeRae's. And, I've been waiting patiently to see her get some type of a title reign for a few months. And, it's yet to happen. And it just kind of leaves me wondering, okay, well, is it ever going to happen? Or, what's going on here with Candice LeRae? Is she essentially, kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier there with Eli Drake, LA Knight? What's going on there? And I'm not trying to hear that whole shit about age. Candice is only 35 going on 36, like coming up later this year. She'll be turning 36. So, I mean, but you would know that when you look at her. I mean, she looks like, if anything, she's either like still in her late 20s or maybe in her early 30s. You wouldn't know that just by looking at her. So I mean, she does a pretty good job, staying healthy, staying in shape, and all of that good shit. I just been waiting patiently for her to, because I want to know, legit, I want to know what this woman is capable of if you give her an opportunity and let her run with a title for a few months. On the one hand, you look at it and you kind of go, yeah, what's going on here? Like, seriously, what the hell is going on? I mean, just really stop and think about this for a second. I kind of highlighted this once before, but just really take a step back and think about this. Candice LeRae has been involved in the WWE since 2017. Just marinate on that. She's been involved with the WWE since 2017. Been on NXT since then. And when it comes to her resume of championships under the WWE umbrella, she ain't got one. Now, some of you guys may say, nah, Lee, you bullshitting, man. You getting old, man. She had one. No. She has not won one title under the WWE umbrella. You would have thought that maybe at least when it came to, the very first NXT Women's Tag Champions, like, maybe she would kind of, nah, not even that distinction. That would have been kind of cool, but we all know how that ended up. We know that pretty much went to Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez and everything. But, there was a part of me that was really, really hoping that it was going to be Indy and Candice tonight, but it did not happen. So, the same kind of question that I posed out there earlier for LA Knight / Eli Drake, I kind of can't help but kind of put that same spin on Candice LeRae, or I know not everybody needs a title to basically, right? So I do want to make sure I stress that, but, still, you just can't help but say, kind of weird what's going on there. So other than my compliments to Indy Hartwell, I also got to give some praise where praise needs to be given. Another thing that stood out to me tonight with regards to this tag match is I saw a lot of personality, a lot of fun energy there from Amber Moon. I definitely got to give it up to Amber Moon. I was quite taken back. Normally when it comes to a Amber Moon match, I usually am disinterested. I'm usually disengaged. I'm usually, it's Amber Moon, whatever. But from what I've seen of her within, the past couple of weeks, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, is she trying to show some personality? And I'm like asking myself that. But now it's even more cemented because as I was watching her tonight in this tag match, I was seeing a lot more, personality come out. I love the fact that she was trying to have the crowd react to the stuff that she was doing in the ring, something that the old Amber Moon wasn't really doing, hardly, if at all. And if she was trying to do it, it kind of came off as if she was a little bit scared and she really didn't want to, I don't know what that was, but, she seemed to be, I think it's been very beneficial to my point. I think it's been very beneficial that Amber Moon has been paired up with Shotzi Blackheart. Look, I mean, we all can be in agreement. Shotzi don't need no tag team partner. Shotzi just on her own is just a fucking good. Ditto if you remember checking some of her shit out long before she even came to WWE. But it's actually been helping Amber Moon in the most positive way. So I like it, right down to the point. I hope that the powers that be down there in NXT, I hope they strongly consider leaving them as a tag team for as long as humanly possible. To the point, I would not mind seeing them have a semi-lengthy tag team title reign. personally. I would not mind seeing them hold the NXT women's tag titles for about 4 months, give or take, maybe almost 5 months. I actually wouldn't mind that. So as long as, we're able to see that continued development there with Amber Moon. But it's definitely been helping her right down to the point. I got no problem making this bold prediction. But I think that if this trend continues, just a little bit that we've been seeing of Amber so far, if it continues, I dare say in a couple of years, as far as Amber Moon being a women's champion, yeah, fuck yeah, I can definitely see it happening. I really, I know in the past I've been very critical of Amber Moon. You can either say, oh, Lee's getting old, he's getting, no, just because you say something a couple of years ago or last year or several months ago, is it okay for you to change your mind because, you're seeing some new developments? Yeah, it's perfectly okay for you to change your mind. Perfectly. But I could definitely, I know she's already been an NXT Women's Champion before, Amber Moon has, but this latest trend, if it continues, I could definitely see her becoming a NXT Women's Champion yet again. I could definitely see it happen. And as far as moving up to the main roster yet again, and it's almost like night and day when you really stop and think about it. I mean, that girl came off so fucking defeated, depleted, loss of passion when she was on the main roster. It was rough watching her on the main roster. It was almost kind of like there was no zest. And since she's been back in NXT, she's got her swag. She's found her smile again, so to speak. So, but yeah, I really like what's been going on with those girls. Let's see. Hey, you guys been okay? You doing all right? If you're enjoying the post show so far, let me hear from you guys, man. And don't forget, we got those polls that's open right now because I want to know what you guys had thought about tonight's NXT Takeover event. So sound off on that. But if you guys been enjoying the post show so far, you know what to do. Click on that subscribe button, click that like, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on all the new content that's coming your way, especially the multiple times we're going to be hitting you up this week. Loads of content. Like I told you guys, this is night 4 of 8 as far as our wrestling coverage goes for this week. I'm still a little bit on the fence, by the way, but there is a Alley Cat Fight TV pay-per-view event that's going to be airing tomorrow. It's like $13.99. I don't know if I'm going to be ordering it just yet. I'm asleep on it, but I if you ask me where I stand right now, I'm about 75% certain that I'm going to be ordering it. So if you guys actually are going to be around Friday afternoon, just make sure you pay attention to the social media feeds, and maybe you're around. We'll do a little hangout. I'm not gonna do a post show covering it, but we could do a little hangout in the Discord. Talk some shit, have some laughs while we watch that. That's probably the only pay-per-view thing I'm gonna be checking out. You know me, when it comes to women's wrestling, I like to try to be a big supporter of it as best as I can. Let's see. Next matchup on the card for NXT Takeover, Stand and Deliver, Night 2. Johnny Gargano taking on Bronson Reed, North American Championship. I wanted to say NXT, but I didn't need that part. North American Championship, 16 minutes, 23 seconds. All right, so Johnny Gargano goes over, it's interesting because originally when I went for my picks, and I think I'm looking at how I did on my picks tonight, by the way. Yeah, I like the fact that just overall, a lot of the people that I went with, I like that there were, no, not so fast. I like that there were a couple of curveballs here and there. So that's good. Otherwise, last thing I want is to get every single thing right, or, oh, I only missed two. I like when, nope. I like when I get that. Johnny Gargano taking on Bronson Reed. Johnny Gargano retaining the North American Championship. Man, I can't tell you how exhausted I felt, because look, from what I understand, Johnny Gargano is one of the coolest, hardworking fucking people backstage. He's respected by so many. All right, gotta make sure I say that. Gotta make sure I stress that. Just a little bit that I've learned. But man, it's like, me personally, as a fan, I gotta be real. I've just gotten to that point where I need a break from Gargano. I just need a break. The constant false finishes and the big spots, and is Johnny dead? No, Johnny's still alive. He kicked out. Shoot him. Yeah, that did it. No, he's still alive. Bomb him. No, he's still alive. Okay, drop a building on him. He's still alive. I mean, it's the same rinse, repeat, type of ordeal with Gargano. And I've just gotten to that point now where I just, as a fan, I need a mental break from Gargano. I wish he was just off my TV for at least 3 months. And then, during that 3 months, it's like, oh, where's Gargano? Hope he's okay. And I don't think about him again until he pops up and, hey, I remember you. Hey, all right, you're back. Cool. I wish I kind of had that chance to miss him. Yeah, his, I'm sorry, but that's just how I honestly feel about Johnny Gargano. I hope I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but I think there's many of you that probably feel the same way I do to a certain degree. Now, with regards to this match against Bronson Reed, let me be very complimentary. I love the fact that they didn't do any stupid shit the way that they went about booking this match. And what I mean by stupid shit, little Gargano, small guy, so he's a kid or whatever, and he's taking on this behemoth of a man, and Bronson Reed. I love the fact that they didn't make it easy the way the match was booked. They did not make it easy for Gargano to cut Bronson Reed down to size. Get him down on his... I like the fact that they didn't make it so damn easy. I like that it was booked in a fashion where Gargano had to work for it. He had to just keep chopping away. And the fact that Austin Theory was at ringside, that also had helped things out as well. I love that. I also love the fact that you had that one near fall where Austin Theory ended up blindly. The ref didn't see it because he was focusing on the count. But you had Austin Theory. He's outside the ring. He's chilling. He hurries up and he puts Johnny's foot on the rope. Ref sees the foot. He doesn't see Theory putting that foot on the rope. Right? Technically saves Gargano's championship reign. And I just love how Bronson Reed kind of sensed that, man, this Theory dude don't fucked up. He don't put his nose in my business yet again. And I love how he just came out there, ripped my man's shirt off. I mean, he took that shirt off with such ease. It was almost, you had to do a double take when he took the shirt off, because you're going, wait a minute, did he really just, because he did it with such ease. It was almost as if the way he did it, it was almost as if he was just taking a sticker, unpeeling a sticker or a tattoo sticker or something. I mean, he just did it with ease. the way he took off Theory's shirt and then picking him up, you're going, we're probably going to see a fuck finish right here. Gargano tried to get involved in everything, and you're like, here it come. But the way Reed had did it, that part, I like the way that was booked. That was actually booked pretty smart. I love that. Then, just when you think Austin Theory was going to successfully get in an attack on Bronson Reed, there was that nice little counter, and pretty much match was able to continue and all that. I liked how they had pretty much did all of that. It was rather smart the way they told the story and how Gargano, basically used shenanigans to retain the title. If I had one little criticism about this match, I just really wish that, following up on what I had suggested last night, and if you guys recall, I kind of preluded to the fact that it's possible Gargano may retain. Because remember, I thought that I had LA Knight all the way from that little gauntlet match, gauntlet little eliminator, to meeting up with Gargano. I had LA Knight all the way. And then once it didn't play out, remember what I said on the post show? I said, you know what? Be prepared. Gargano's probably going to go over as a result. And he did, but I wish that, as far as a little bit of continuity, I wish that they would have had LA Knight put a little bit of fuckery in this and have it be the reason why Reed ultimately did not become the NXT North American champion. Now, all things considered, Reed could, I think Reed and Gargano, the whole way thing, I think there's still something there. I think that this feud is going to continue. I don't see Reed going elsewhere, right? So I think this is still a continuing development here. But kind of have LA Knight in the back of your mind there. Don't be too surprised if, in the coming weeks, you may get some type of a brief alliance with LA Knight and the Way. Don't be too surprised, and things maybe culminate in a tag match, and you got Bronson Reed teaming up there with Dexter Lumis, and don't be too surprised if you see all of that start to intertwine there. Karrion Kross taking on Fin Balor, singles match, NXT Championship. By the way, Gargano, Bronson Reed, they went about 16 minutes, 23 seconds. Match before that, Amber Moon, Shotzi Blackheart taking on Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. That went about 10 minutes plus. Karrion Kross taking on Fin Balor, NXT Championship match. Boys went about 17 minutes and some change. Karrion Kross, your new NXT champion. He is now a 2-time NXT champion. Great fucking match. Between both of these men. Loved it. They got great chemistry together. No denying it whatsoever. They got great chemistry together. I am happy for Karrion Kross. Extremely happy for Karrion Kross. This was a title he honestly had no business losing. We know he had got injured. That pretty much had sidelined him, and he worked his ass off to come back in a timely manner. He was not due back for, when you go back and you look at that period where he was injured, he wasn't due back for a significant period of time, but, this was a man that wanted to get back as quickly as possible. And you talk about a very strict regimen that he put himself on, to rehab and come back as fast as he was able to come back, and at 100%, mind you, at 100%. And this wasn't a case where, okay, yeah, good, all right, yeah, 70%, I can work with. No, he didn't do that. And at one point, there was talk about surgery, and Lord knows if he would have opted for the surgery, that fucking definitely would have had him out. So to defy such odds, and be able to come back and to what he loves, to be able to come back to what he loves, pro wrestling and everything. It's a testament to not just his work regimen, but it's also a big testament to his character, and what he's all about. Is definitely a very admirable trait. There's no denying that. I was happy to see this guy win the NXT championship. I've been a big Karrion Kross fan since he was Killer Kross down there in Impact Wrestling. I mean, anybody that was watching any of his shit down in Impact Wrestling, or got a chance to maybe check out some of his stuff when he was, working with some independent promotions, you just knew that, oh, this dude, need to watch him. This dude looks like money, smells like money, probably is going to be money. He had a unique look. He knows his shit. He's got his character down. Yeah, this is a guy. Oh, look at how Scarlett Bordeaux is. It's like, yeah, definitely watch this guy. So, it's nice to been able to watch his journey. Being with the independents, working there with Impact, and just everything culminating to him ultimately coming to WWE and everything. It's been a hell of a ride. Definitely big Karrion Kross fan over here. Big Karrion Kross fan. Right down to the point, actually. I have a Karrion Kross. I got a Karrion Kross signed picture. Let me see something here. This actually might be it. I don't know. Let's see. No, that's my Enzo joint. Yeah, I got 2 Enzos. That's not it. But yeah, there's a really cool. I can't remember if I won it from some raffle or if I ended up purchasing it. And I think it actually. I'm trying to think if he actually has the NXT championship. I can't recall right now, but nah, big fucking fan of fucking Kross, man. Love that dude. Total fucking package, man. I mean, he's got the character. I mean, he's got the size, the intimidating size. Just that whole in-ring persona, just everything about that dude is fucking money. It's fucking money. And, for me, I took it personal, right? Very rare. I take it personal, when it comes to these wrestlers, because I always like to tell you guys, hey, it's never personal. It's just business, right? It's never personal. But man, I can't tell you, when he got injured, I took it so personal, because it's like, oh man, because you knew this is what he was fighting for. You just knew that, nah, man, he's been busting his ass all the way, and then it pretty much was taken away from him and everything. So to now get a 100% healthy Karrion Kross, okay, now let's see what this guy is capable of as far as a title reign, a proper title reign. Let's see what's going to happen with him at the helm. This a refreshing reset that NXT needed, because when you just look at some of the title changes that's happened between night 1 and night 2, and at the very top there with that NXT World title and the fact that it's now on Karrion Kross, you need that new shot of adrenaline like that, and the other moves that had happened on both nights. You gotta have, kind of following up on what I had said last night loosely there, you gotta have yourself a little bit of a reset there, especially now that you're doing this move to the Tuesday nights. Try to see if you can bring in some new eyeballs. Maybe you might be able to bring in some eyes from your Wednesday nights when you had the fans that were just going back and forth. Maybe you had that majority that decided to stay with NXT, with AEW. Maybe you can kind of bring some new eyeballs and all that now. So I like this move. It's the right move. Balor, look, for me personally, I was okay. I was totally okay with Balor coming back to NXT. just after the poor underutilization that was done with him on the main roster. Totally was down with him coming back to NXT. He needed it. He needed, it's okay. For some folks need to just kind of take a step back and be able to, okay, let's rebuild, right? And so to be able to go back to NXT, it came at a great time for Balor. A great time. Because honestly, I'm telling you, if it wasn't a case where NXT would have been available for Balor, there's just no telling what potentially might have happened to him. I don't know at that point how long his contract with WWE was and everything, but you just can't help but wonder, okay, force the powers that be's hand and get out of your contract, and then you got that non-compete clause for that extended period of time, and then okay, now where you gonna go? What are you gonna do? AEW? You gonna go back to New Japan? You gonna maybe do some stuff with ROH? What I mean, you can only speculate, right? You can only speculate. So the fact that he got an opportunity to come back to NXT, reset and everything, it was very good, but it sadly got to a point where all we were being given was just that one dimension Balor, and your guess is as good as mine as far as, does he need to go back to Demon Balor? Or, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but, sadly, and I don't like admitting this because he's a talented fucking athlete. He really fucking is, but for me personally, the Balor title reign, it was just starting to become very lackluster. I know that's kind of crazy to hear, but for me personally, that's exactly what it was. And now that we got somebody new at the helm, this creates a very exciting opportunity in NXT, especially for the fans. So now you can't help. Here's a couple of things. Number one, you can't help but go, okay, now what's next for Balor? Balor going to continue to be involved with NXT for the foreseeable future? Well, off the break, yes. Do I eventually see Balor coming back to the main roster? Yes, but you got to put an asterisk by it. I think at this point, the only way we will eventually see Balor on the main roster is pretty much once Vince McMahon is like totally not having anything to do with the shows. Whether that comes in 3-4 years, your guess is as good as mine. But as far as if I were to make a bold prediction and, what's up with Balor, main roster, I'd be shocked if they went on ahead and pulled that trigger and tried to do something with him in the next 2 years. Like as far as moving him to the main, I would be shocked if you were to tell me within 2 years Balor goes back to the main roster. I think he needs to stay there for as long as humanly possible, because my fear is that you move him up, a lot sooner than later. My fear is that essentially a guy like Balor is going to get lost in the shuffle, for one, and it's pretty much going to be like it was when he was on the main roster the first rodeo. So, you kind of have to have that in the back of your mind right now. So, and I think that's very realistic considering all the pieces that, on the main roster that's pretty much in place right now. When you take a step back and you think about it, it kind of adds up right now. So now I do see a rematch potentially happening between Balor and Kross. I definitely see that going down. But as far as fresh opponents for Karrion Kross. God, look, not for nothing, but after what you did there with Tommaso Ciampa and Walter, right type of story arc and all that, I could definitely see Karrion Kross, Tommaso Ciampa. That'd be a damn good matchup. I don't know what's going on with Aleister Black. I remember there was a report a while back where Aleister Kross, he wanted to return to NXT, but he was denied. I don't know, if maybe there was a second change of heart, and, because I'm like this, if we're not going to do anything with Aleister Black on the main roster, okay, new move to Tuesday nights. You got some old blood returning and everything. I mean, that would be pretty damn cool if you got Aleister Black, back on NXT. There's a guy that would benefit tremendously. If anybody really fucking understood his character and all of that shit, Triple H and them down at NXT, ultimately, which was the reason why he came up to the main roster, was because of the phenomenal job that Aleister Black, in conjunction, with Triple H and crew, really flushing out his character entrance and all that shit, collectively, they were able to create a virtuoso masterpiece. So a guy like Aleister Black being back in NXT, essentially feuding with Karrion Kross, that would be fucking badass. That would be fucking badass. For selfish reasons, I would love to see, for just, one time only, I would love to see fucking Keith Lee reignite a feud there with Karrion. I think that would be pretty damn good. We never did really kind of get our, at least I personally feel, we never did really get our proper send-off of Keith Lee from NXT. At least to me, it kind of feels like that, but to each its own. But that would be kind of interesting. But if you couldn't get access to Keith Lee, if he's like a lock for the main roster and everything, and, hands off, and you just kind of have to poke your head around there and just, okay, so what else we got here? Under the right story arc, based off of the hell of a performance I saw of him last night, and honestly, what I've seen of him off and on past couple of years now, under the right story arc, I would love to see Walter and Karrion Kross. That would be, I guarantee you, a match of the year candidate. No bullshit. That would be a match of the year candidate. So you could definitely do some really cool shit with that. I would have loved to have seen Damian Priest do some shit with Kross too. Now it's kind of one of those type of deals where, Bronson Reed as well. But see, here's the challenge that they got with Bronson Reed. The challenge that they got, and I'm not saying immediately, like just jump. I'm just talking about like eventual feuds that you can have lined up for Karrion. You can definitely do some cool shit there with Bronson Reed in due time. You just got to build him up properly, and you can definitely fucking get there. So, you got some really good little combinations there that you can do. So, I think the real question that we all need to be asking ourselves is, okay, assuming that Karrion Kross is going to have somewhat of a lengthy title reign, who is going to be the one to ultimately dethrone him, and essentially that's it for Kross on NXT. Him and Scarlett, they pretty much move on to the main roster. You got so many guys that's already been vocal. Randy Orton at the top of that list. Get your ass to the main roster already. Let's make some money. That's what Randy Orton had said to Kross on social media a couple of weeks ago. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. I think the real question is, like, how soon before we see Karrion on the main roster? If you were to pick my brain, you want to put me on the spot and you want me to, I would say to you guys, first quarter 2022, look for Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux on the main roster. Everything go good. He remains healthy and shit. First quarter. Now, let me be very specific. Because I know I said first quarter. So when I'm saying first quarter, 2022, basically what I'm saying is look for Karrion Kross to be on the main roster no later than April of 2022. No later than April. Okay? That's the vibe that I'm kind of feeling right now. But yeah, the real question we need to be asking ourselves is, who's the guy he's going to put over on his way out and going up to the main roster? That's the real question. Your guess is as good as mine. Just kind of looking at the current landscape right now. You know what? There is somebody that I'm thinking about. Stephanie McMahon was with him in the crowd and she just kept pointing at his ass and shit. And I was laughing my ass off because she's just, she kind of seems like that mom that's like, that's my kid, y'all, that's my kid. I can't think of the name of the guy. If you guys remember the segment I'm talking about, post the name of that guy in the chat, because I do have the chat open so I can see where you guys are when you're typing and where you're typing from and all that. But that guy, he's got the right kind of look and everything, but how is he in the ring? Could it maybe, depending on how far along he is in his wrestling advancement skills, could it maybe be that guy? I mean, you never know. But a damn good match, good storytelling. I love the fact that Karrion Kross, I love the fact that he just went fucking berserker on Fin Balor in those closing moments of the fucking match. I love how he essentially broke out of Fin Balor's little leg lock submission hold. I mean, he had the arms parted and everything. You're thinking, okay, Kross, where is he going to go? Either he's going to use his strength to power out of this shit, or maybe he's just going to pass out. He's never going to admit defeat. He's never going to tap out. He's just going to pass out. And neither of those had happened. Like somehow Kross breaks out and then he just starts going with the fucking forearm to the face of Balor. I fucking loved. I mean, it was just knocking him out cold with that shit. Then rolls him over on his back and just starts going in with the fucking elbow and forearm strikes to the back of the head and the back of the neck. You got the referee. The referee's just right there. And, I'm at the edge of my seat when this shit is going down because I'm looking at this spot. I'm going, shit, this match is going to stop due to stoppage. Like that's how this match is going to end. It's going to be a fucking stoppage due to, Balor not being able to defend himself. That's what's happening. But no, that's not even what fucking happened. Although that would have been a really cool ass spot to see it go down like that. But nah, man, he fucking, oh, what the hell? Sorry about that, guys. Nah, but he fucking goes in there. He fucking went in there with those fucking forearm strikes, man, just hitting that fucking dude like I don't know what. I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. It was a beautiful fucking disaster. Give me a second here, because I got a weird pop-up that just happened on my screen here. Give me a second here. It's an update. Okay, yeah, I'll actually let. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's a legit update. Okay, yes, I accept. All right, cool. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, he just fucking unloaded with those fucking elbow strikes. Balor limp as fuck. Kross going in with the damn German suplex. Ate a fucking northern lariat. Fucking running elbow to the back of the head. I mean, Kross just decimated the hell out of fucking Balor. I loved it. I fucking loved it. Good fucking shit, man. Good fucking shit. Unsanctioned match. Adam Cole versus Kylie O'Reilly. So let me see if I got this straight. Both men come out to new themes. I was ready for Adam Cole to come out to the bow 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 bow. I was ready for that shit. We didn't get that. I was a little heartbroken. You know, they changed the music. Sounded okay. Kylie O'Reilly's music is gonna take me a while to get used to. I think they need to tweak it a little bit more because as his song was playing, I don't know why, but for some reason I was thinking about the real world. For some reason I was thinking about like some 90s TV show where there's a bunch of guys hanging around, drinking beer, playing with their power tools, looking at the babes go by. I mean, there's just something weird about Kyle O'Reilly's music, man. I just looked at it. I'm hearing it. I'm like, we got to work on that a little bit more. Love the fact that they had the security guys for O'Reilly, security guys for Cole, and just escorting them pretty much to their respective positions in Gorilla so they can come out and everything. Loved all that. I love the fact that when the bell finally rung, both men charged at each other, just fists in the air. I love that. I ate that shit up because for me, yeah, if these two guys really can't stand the fuck out of each other, if they got that much of a hatred for each other, the last thing we need to do is see them finally lock up and they do a goddamn fucking, test of strength, or they do a fucking lockup. Like, no. Any variation of a lockup, no. Just off the gate, out of the gate, as soon as the bell rings, fist swinging. I love that. So, they already set the tone just right, just by that simple action right there. Nice, good build up, nice slow pace that they went with it. I love how they utilized the chain. It was an actual steel chain. I love how they utilized that while they were both hooked up to it at one point. I love how they had utilized that and beaten the shit out of each other with it. That was actually a really good spot. I was a little bit heartbroken at the hell was that? I was a little bit heartbroken at the one spot there. I was a little bit heartbroken at the one spot where they were doing some stuff over by the announce table, and the announce table did not even break. Yeah, I'm looking at that announce table and I'm going, whose fault is that? Like who forgot to eat a couple of pounds of some Hungry Man there? Like, what's going on with that table? I think they redeemed themselves the second go round, but I know that first go round, ain't nobody was able to fucking crash that fucking table, man. Good storytelling. Love the trash talking that they were doing with each other, particularly Cole. Cole was the main one that was going in with the trash talking. You did have a couple of silly parts, though. Like, for me, the one part where both men were sitting on steel chairs in the ring, looking at each other, just talking mad shit as they're striking each. I could have done without that. Quite honestly, I could have totally done without that. I love the spot where they were fighting over by the stage ramp area, and Adam Cole somehow manages to send O'Reilly crashing through the floor part of the ramp. Like, he actually was able to put him through it. Visually, that was a really sick fucking spot. Love that. And then Adam Cole, you're wondering, okay, so how's he going to get to O'Reilly here? Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to jump down and reach for him that way? Or we got our answer shortly afterwards as he goes off to the side and he's literally kicking, the wall part of the ramp. and you're going, the hell is he doing? You know, I'm thinking Shockmaster. Like, you're kind of thinking you're about to have a Shockmaster moment, but no, O'Reilly actually was right there when Cole was kicking that wall in and everything, kicking all of that debris, and he pretty much went in, continued to beat the crap out of O'Reilly. I mean, visually, that was fun. Spot there where Cole took out the referee, that was pretty good. And then afterwards, the dumbass look that Cole had on his face after he fucking, connected. I don't know what he connected with, but he had the 3 count. But because he took the ref out, and he's calling the ref stupid and all this other shit. Was like, nah, you're the stupid one. You fucking took your boy out, man. It's like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen there? Like, seriously, what the hell did you think was gonna happen there? Also, probably one of the best parts about the storytelling for this unsanctioned match, and a continuation of pretty much what we've been seeing over the course of the past several weeks, which really, in my estimation, makes great storytelling. I love the fact that Cole was doing everything in this match to focus on the neck of O'Reilly. I love that. You guys that watched enough NXT and all that, you know about the history with O'Reilly and that neck. In real life, you know about that. So I love the fact that Cole kept trying to exploit that for all that it was worth. I love that. Both men really fucking rose to the occasion here in this matchup. O'Reilly in the final moments hitting Cole with a low blow, then wrapped a chain around his right ankle, almost up to his knee, so to speak, goes up to the top turnbuckle, and then he just drops his fucking knee, wrapped up in the chain now. Nice, big, thick ass fucking steel chain. He just drops his knee into the back/kidney area of Cole. And Cole is pretty much laid out on, like, inadvertently on an inverted chair. He's pretty much laid out like that. And when O'Reilly just lands that fucking knee on that back/kidney, I love how fucking Cole just fucking shook like I don't know what, like he was having a seizure. You're like, yeah, that should do it. Like, your back and kidneys just got fucked up. Ain't no way you kicking out of that. You kick out of that, man. Like, seriously, we just need to end this already. But no, he didn't kick out. That was pretty much the 1, 2, 3. Kylie O'Reilly picking up the dub. Did that in fantastic fashion. Both men, they did phenomenally well in this match. They did phenomenally well in this match. Both men went about 40 minutes. Now, I do have a gripe. We did not need to have this be as long as it was, because when it's said and done, this pretty much had took us to about almost 10:45. I don't think we had needed to have this be 40 minutes, quite honestly. Honestly, we would have been good with it just being... I think they honestly, they should have trimmed it by about 10 to 15 minutes. There really was no need to just... I mean, come on. Really, there was really no need. And then the fact that once the fight was over, you got EMTs. They're trying to help out Adam Cole. They're trying to load him up on the stretcher and everything. And you got Kylie O'Reilly, who's just looking on. And you're going, oh, maybe he's getting ready to do something to his boy here. Okay, let's see. And you keep waiting. I don't know if maybe something happened on WWE.com as an exclusive or whatever, but you just see O'Reilly just standing at the top of the stage ramp. He's just looking on, pretty proud of the work that he did and everything. Looks a little frustrated as well. You keep thinking that something's about to happen, and they just stayed like that for like about what felt like an eternity. It felt like they stayed just like that for about 5 minutes, and then they finally go off the air. You're like, well, what the fuck was the point in, don't tease. You're gonna do something, fucking do it. But still pretty good. Pretty good outing between both men. Damn good fight. Loved it. But yeah, they gotta... It had no business being damn near 40 fucking minutes. I'm sorry. I think anybody would be in agreement. That was just mad fucking overkill. There was no need for them to pull all of that crap. Other than that, pretty good night. Overall, pretty good. Love this a lot better than night one. I have to say. Let's see what you guys had to say. Let's go to the polling one more time here. Let's see what you guys had to say. All right, we're going to YouTube here. YouTube.com/the RCWR Show. Let's see what you guys had to say. Via YouTube, 100% of you giving night 2 a thumbs up. Y'all did not choose any other option. You said thumbs up. And let's see what you all are saying on Twitter. Let's see here. Twitter. Where are you? I got Twitter. Hang on, guys. Boom. All right, Twitter. Here's where we stand. 9% of you gave it a thumbs down. 18% of you said not as good as night 1. 27% of you better than night 1. And top dog right now, 45% of you feel it was a thumbs up. So now that you've heard the polling results from the Twitter and YouTube, don't spam out and vote on both polls. Now that you've heard what you've heard, go with the poll that you feel best represents the majority, the side that you're on, and vote that way. By the way, following up just one last time on night 1, because I did tell you guys I was going to provide an update on the night 1 polling results. Looks like for night 1 via Twitter, night 1 of NXT Takeover, 20% of you gave the event a thumbs down, 80% of you gave it a thumbs up. Meanwhile, YouTube, again, for night 1, YouTube, you guys said 9% thumbs down. 91% of you gave night 1 a thumbs up. So, I mean, when you really, put all of that together, just collectively, all of that data, majority really enjoyed Takeover. So they really set the stage. Now it's all about WrestleMania. Let me get into some shout outs here. By the way, if you guys had enjoyed yourselves here, please, one more time, can't stress it enough. You haven't done so already. Make sure you go out of your way. You hit that like button. You hit that subscribe. Click the bell so you know about all content that's coming your way, especially this week because we're doing 8 consecutive nights live. So quick programming notes. Friday, I will be live 10 p.m. Eastern after SmackDown goes off the air. Remember, they're doing the Andre the Giant joint. We'll talk all things SmackDown. We will talk AEW Dynamite. We'll go over the last Wednesday night AEW NXT ratings. We will talk NWA Power. I'll offer my WrestleMania predictions. It's going to be a fun show, so make sure you tune in for that. That's going to be pretty good, I promise you. Shout out to our Patreon members. Remember, patreon.com/RCWR Show. That's where you need to go. Check out bonus audio video content. Don't ask me how I'm going to pull it off, but there is going to be Patreon content that's going to be dropping for you guys this weekend. I know a couple of days ago, me and Tams, we put out a new episode of Wrestling with the Topics. But we are going to be following up, and we're going to be dropping something for you Patreon members. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Patreon members, Gino Morgan, JDDDDDD Davis, Michael Wolf. See who else? Justin Ripstock. Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Tony Bean Gaming. You want the very latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel's Avengers. Tony Bean Gaming, tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, and reviews. He's got your hookup. He's on YouTube. He's got a Patreon paywall as well. Shout out to my good friend Anthony DeBlasi. Shout out to Wishful Walking Videos. They're on YouTube. Show them some love. Check them out as well. New videos posted daily all the way until the start of summer. Check them out. Appreciate everybody. All right, so we did good, man. So when it's all said and done, this So the entire show pretty much ran about 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. So, enjoy that for what it's worth. For those of you that's going to be listening to part 1 and 2 combined, and you're pretty much at this point of the show, thank you kindly for representing. And particularly, definitely want to give a shout out to our audience via Amazon Music and Audible. I see that we've been picking up a lot more traffic from those respected outlets. So that's fucking badass. All right, so we got this show in the books. For those of you that tuned in live, appreciate the love and the support. As always, love you guys tremendously. Let's do this again. Night 4 of 8 is now in the books. We are on to night 5. I will see you guys Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, after SmackDown goes off the air. Meantime, be kind and rewind. Check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and the downloads. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. And until the next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys